Hi, boys and girls. In our last video, I showed you how to add to find the sums using dominoes. So if you have any dominoes lying around your house, you can use them to practice math facts by adding the dots on the dominoes. We also practiced how to use dominoes to make them into word problems. You can write them sideways, like when I have my domino turned sideways like this one. Or you could write them up and down like this, or both. So you can use dominoes to help you create number sentences or number models. And you could also sort the dominoes into the types of math facts that you know. Well, addition math facts you know. So here we sorted into doubles facts, because all of these are the same as our doubles facts, such as 5 plus 5, 3 plus 3. We sorted into our plus 0 dominoes because one of these dominoes has a blank, one side on each of these dominoes is a blank, which would be the same as plus 0, like our plus 0 math addition facts. And then we also sorted some dominoes into plus 1 facts because each of these dominoes has a side that only has one dot, which would be like an addition plus 1 math fact. Okay, so we have plus 1s, plus 0s, and the doubles dominoes. Just like we have the same thing with addition facts. We have doubles math facts, plus 0s, plus 1s. And then these would just be regular addition facts. I didn't find too many patterns to our last group of dominoes, but if you want to pause the video and see how many patterns you notice on our last group of mixed up dominoes, please feel free to do that now. Otherwise, I'm going to show you some more things you can do with dominoes. Okay. So we sorted dominoes, turned them into number models or number sentences, depending on which term you use when you teach them. We practiced addition facts. We played a little bit of Beat the Teacher using your domino sums. Okay, so this was the last couple videos, and this current lesson up until now, we've talked about using dominoes to practice adding, okay, which is when you use your plus sign in math. You put numbers together. So there's another math operation you can use using what's on the dominoes, meaning like the dots. And that would be almost the exact opposite of addition. Do you know what operation I'm talking about, boys and girls? If you said subtraction, give yourself a pat on the back or a round of applause. Okay, you can also subtract using dominoes. Okay, you can look at the number of dots on the dominoes to help you come up with subtraction problems. Now here's what's different about subtraction with dominoes. Just like when we look at a subtraction problem on a piece of paper, we always start with the bigger number on top. So if I wanted to start with the number 6 and I wanted to subtract, which means take away 3. Okay, you always start with a bigger number. So if you're writing it up and down, it looks like this. 6, big number on the top, minus 3, and your answer would be 3. In subtraction, the answer is called the difference, by the way. You're finding the difference between two numbers. So in the math problem 6 minus 3, you're finding the difference between 3 and 6. Okay, because 3 is less than 6. Okay, the difference between the two is 3. That is the answer in subtraction. Okay, if you're writing it sideways, it would look like this. Again, you start with your 6 because that's the bigger number. 6 minus 3 equals 3. Okay, so no matter what you do in subtraction, you always start with a big number first. So if you're doing it up and down like this, the big number is on the top. If you're doing your math problem sideways like this, the big number is first because you read left to right. You go this way. So it'd be 6 is first. Then you would do minus your second number, which is 3, equals, which means is, and then your difference or your answer. Okay, same thing when you're using a domino. So if I wanted to practice subtraction, which is a little harder than adding when you're using dominoes. Okay, because there's no way to really count and check your answer. We are just going to make a subtraction problem. Okay, so there's no way to use the dots on the dominoes to check yourself. You would have to use a different strategy, like counting backwards on a number line, or using your fingers if you have a number that's 10 or less. You could draw pictures and cross out. If you do use the dots on the dominoes, you would have to cover up, but it would just be easier to probably use a different way other than the domino to check your answer. But you can still use the domino to set up a subtraction problem. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. This domino here has 6 dots on the top. Okay, see there's 6 yellow dots. If you're not sure if that's 6 just by looking at it, feel free to pause the video or count them. Okay, and we have 6 on the top, and how many dots on the bottom? 1. So I'm just going to use these numbers to make a subtraction problem. The top number was 6 for the 6 yellow dots, so I'm going to write the number 6. Put my minus sign, and I'm going to take away how many dots? 1. Now, there's no way to check it using what's on the domino, but if you know what 6 minus 1 is, go ahead and write your answer here. You can use your magic finger if you don't have paper and pencil, or you could just shout it out. What is 6 minus 1? If you said 5, kiss your brain. You are correct. 6 minus 1 would be 5. Since we already have a set number of dots on the domino, we can't really check it with the same domino, okay? So we just use the domino to make a subtraction problem. If you weren't sure and you wanted to check it, you could draw your own 6 dots. 6 dots, or 6. Now we have to subtract 1, which means take away or get rid of 1. So 6 minus 1. Here's 6 dots. If I want to get rid of 1, I could cross it out like this. And to find the answer, you would count how many dots are left. So we started with 6, crossed out 1. Now we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots left. Okay, so there's a picture to show 6 minus 1 is 5. So that's a way that you could draw a picture to check your subtraction problem. Okay. And that's how you use dominoes for subtraction. Okay, how would I write this one? This would be 0 minus, here's my minus sign, it's just a little dash. Oh, 0 again. If I start with 0 and I take 0 away, what do I have left? 0. Excellent. 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay, because 0 is nothing. When you have nothing, you take away nothing, you still have nothing. Okay, you could also write it up and down. 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay. Do this domino. I have 1, 4. Give Mrs. Pendleton thumbs up or thumbs down if I write my subtraction fact correctly using this domino here. look at how I wrote this math fact. 1 minus 4 equals, and I didn't yet solve it. But did I write the problem correctly? Did I set up my number sentence correctly? Give me a thumbs up if you think yes. Give me thumbs down if you think no. If you need extra time, please feel free to pause the video and think, and you can share your response aloud with yourself or with a brother, sister, parent, babysitter, somebody who's close to you, if there's somebody nearby. What do you think? If you said that 1 minus 4 equals was the correct way to set up our subtraction problem, and you gave me a thumbs up, I'm sorry, but you would be wrong. If you gave Mrs. Pendleton a thumbs down, kiss your brain, because you caught my mistake. You can't write 1 minus 4, boys and girls, when you subtract. That is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because in subtraction, we have to start with the biggest number. I can't take 4 out of 1. Okay, you can't do it. If you only have 1 dot, how am I going to take 4 away? If I take this one away, that's just 1. Okay, it doesn't work. The correct way would be to start with the big number. Let's turn it around. I should have started with 4. Could I write it this way, boys and girls? 4 minus 1. Thumbs up for yes, that's the correct way to write it, or thumbs down for no. If you gave me a thumbs up that time, kiss your brain, because you are correct. The correct way to write this is 4 minus 1 equals, not the other way. Okay. Since we can't really erase the dots on our domino to take it away, let's see if you can think of a way to find the difference or the answer of 4 minus 1. I guess you could cover up dots on dominoes, or you could draw your own and cross them out like we did with the 6 minus 1. You could also put up 4 fingers. Take away 1. 4 dots. Take away 1. Count how many are left. Or if you have a number line at home, or if you can draw your own number line, or if you have a hundreds chart, number grid, you could always start at 4 and go backwards for subtraction. And you would go backwards 1 hop and come up with your answer. So no matter if you use 4 minus 1, you take away 1 finger, or draw 4 dots and cross out 1, or if you make your own little number line, here's 4, a little bit closer, 4, take away 1, whoop, there's 1 hop backwards, and I land at 3. Okay, if I started with 4 dots, I drew my 4 dots and crossed out 1, how many dots are left? 1, 2, 3. Okay, same thing with your fingers. Start with 4 fingers, take away 1, you're left with 3 fingers still standing. So 4 minus 1 equals 3. So you could practice subtraction just by simply turning each of these dominoes into a subtraction fact. But remember, you always have to start with the bigger number. On this domino, which one would I start with? The 6 or the 1? 6, good. So it could look like this, 6 minus 1 equals, or 6 minus 1 equals. Okay. So you could use dominoes to practice subtraction facts by making the domino into a subtraction fact and then checking it a different way, whether it's counting on your fingers, drawing pictures and crossing out, using a number line to find the difference by counting backwards. There's several different ways you could check your answer. It's just hard to do it with the domino. Dominoes are better to check addition, but you can still use them for subtraction too by doing what we just did in this video. If you want to know more ways to practice addition and subtraction with dominoes or to practice with some more fun domino games, stay tuned for some more videos. Thank you for tuning in. Miss you. Love you all. See you soon.